On American Top 40, I'm Shadoe Stevens. And now we're up to one of the most enticing mature women in entertainment. This firecracker of a female star has thrilled and spellbound music fans for 3 decades plus. In one raunchy rockin' image, she's gyrating in wild abandon, wearing a glittery mini dress, her $1 million legs on the move. And then there's the classy cover on her million-selling comeback album, Private Dancer, where those legs are more, posed. Tina Turner says there was once a time when she thought her legs hampered her image, not enhanced it. She told interviewer Rona Elliott, "I remember the days when I hated them. I had this short body and long pony legs. I didn't know how to use them or how to dress for them. They worked against me in those years." Well, in the 80s, Tina made her comeback and says it was all due to the right music, the way it was presented, and the way she presented herself, including those legs. Tina says they've brought me a long way, and I'm pleased with how far I've come and what I've become. That's quite an achievement at this stage in my life. Well, that stage of life finds her celebrating her 50th birthday this year and her 18th Top 40 hit. At number 21, here's Tina Turner and The Best. You're listening to American Top 40 with The Shadoe. And now we're up to the current hit by the woman who taught Mick Jagger how to dance. Well, they weren't exactly formal lessons. Here's the way it went. Back in 1966, this star and her then-guitarist husband were on tour in England with their band, and they shared a bill with a fairly new band called the Rolling Stones. She recalls, "I didn't know who the Stones were. They were just these boys." And Mick was the one who was always standing in the wings watching us. He was a little shy of me, but finally we started having fun. I tried to teach him some dances because he just stands still on stage with a tambourine. He'd try things like the pony or some hip movements backstage, and we'd all just laugh. That's the story from Mick Jagger's dance instructor, the sleek, smooth, electro-charged Tina Turner. And when the Stones toured the U.S. back in 1981, Mick remembered the lady who taught him some of those high-voltage moves and had her open some of their shows to warm up, or most likely heat up the crowd. Mick says, "I learned a lot of things from Tina." On American Top 40, I'm Shadoe Stevens. And next is the current hit by the pop star who's in Europe right now, opening concerts for Lady Dynamite herself, the explosive Tina Turner. Tina has invited Richard Marx to be her special guest star, and Richard considers it quite an honor. He says, "Even before Tina made her comeback, I collected all her early records while I was growing up. I mean, let's face it, she's one of the really great figures of rock and roll, in every sense of the word." Right now, we've got the longest charting woman in history. Until now, the record's been held by a woman who charted on the Billboard Hot 100 this last year with All Alone on Christmas from the movie Home Alone 2. And she first charted way back in 1962 as the lead singer on the #1 hit He's a Rebel by the Crystals. 30 years on the charts for Darlene Love. Now, you might remember seeing her as Danny Glover's wife in the Lethal Weapon movies. Well, now Darlene's 30-year record is broken. The new record's been set by a woman who first hit the Billboard chart in the summer of 1960. Our president was Ike, and so was her husband. 2 different Ikes, of course. Ike Eisenhower in the White House, and Ike Turner joined his wife on the chart with a duet called A Fool in Love. Now, 33 years later, she becomes the longest charting woman in history thanks to her latest hit, debuting at 37 on AT40. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but several years back, Jurassic Park director Steven Spielberg offered Tina Turner a role in the movie The Color Purple with Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey, but Tina turned it down. She told Spielberg, "Thanks, but I don't need to play a part in a movie. I've already lived it." And now Tina's real life has been made into a movie, of course. What's love got to do with it? Now, if Hollywood made a film about your life, wouldn't you want to check it out? Not Tina. She said, and this is a quote, "If I see the film, I might just barf." Tina says she's in no big hurry to see herself get beat up on the big screen, even if she can't feel the punches this time. She says, "I think after my tour, I'll sit down and look at it, and if I become upset about something, I'll organize a press conference and talk about it, and then let it go." There's the song that plays over the closing credits of the movie at number 24 on AT40, Tina Turner, and I Don't Want to Fight. And next, jumping up to number 9, the oldest woman to ever hit the top 10. A lady from England held the record for a while. She was best known for her hits during the 1960s, songs like I Only Want to Be With You and Wishin' and Hopin'. And then in the 80s, 2 of her fans, the Pet Shop Boys, asked her to sing in a song called What Have I Done to Deserve This? And in 1988, it made Dusty Springfield the oldest woman to hit the top 10 just before her 49th birthday. And then just a year and a half ago, an American woman beat Dusty's record. That's when Englishman Maxi Priest teamed up with 52-year-old Roberta Flack on Set the Night to Music, and it cracked the top 10. But this week, Roberta and Dusty have to move down in the ranks. Taking over first place, a woman who was born the same year as Dusty Springfield and Roberta Flack in 1939. She first appeared on the charts just a short time before she turned 21, and now she struts her way into the AT40 Book of Records at age 53. Tina Turner, now the oldest woman ever to hit the top 10. This next lady on AT40 has an air of class and a unique style all her own, a real role model and an idol. So who was her idol? Tina Turner said, "I met her one time at an airport. When I saw her, I just dropped my bags and ran up to her. She knew who I was, and she said, 'Oh, my children will be pleased.' We shook hands. She had such great manners." Jackie Kennedy Onassis is my idol. Ever call one of those psychic hotlines or go see a psychic? There's a legendary lady in the countdown who definitely believes in psychics. Back around 1975, a psychic named Carol Dreyer told her, "You will be among the biggest of stars. A partner of yours will fall like a leaf from a tree in autumn." Well, that partner was her former husband, and they divorced not long after that psychic made the prediction. Then in the 1980s came the comeback Carol predicted, starting with her first top 40 hit in over a decade. Then a #1 song, What's Love Got to Do With It, and her Private Dancer album that sold over 10 million. Tina Turner says psychic readings are like looking into the past and seeing a wonderful movie of your life that can guide you. Tina's 20th top 40 hit is at number 33.